Welcome back to the Fourth Estate Militia Actual Play. Time for an interview. 34 cigarettes, some important business ideas, the most unstable toolbox in Seattle, and then we do a barrel roll. It's time to begin episode 46, and then it's crossed pinkies.
As you guys are retrieved or escorted away from the foam pit off into a bit of a back locker room, a small.
Somebody get this woman a cigarette. Then
Go
he
ahead.
points at Juliet.
Thank you.
Someone comes by with a pack of cigarettes. They're all overly filtered, very weak and thin.
What is this
Not the sort of
trick?
stuff. Yeah, not the sort of stuff that Juliet would normally use.
It's an Aries air spirit.
And she acts like a proper chain smoker and just goes through the whole pack in a matter of minutes.
Right as you guys enter the locker room, there's a small, vaguely Asian-looking woman, but it's kind of hard to tell if she's actually Asian or not. Obviously human, rounded ears and everything, and she goes, "Can I get one of you for an interview, please?"
Nope. Kendall?
Kendall's gonna nod at Horatio.
That's
Just-
right, I'm the Baron's king.
That's what you said, man. You were spinning that staff like it was designed to be spun or something, man.
Oh yeah, I saw it in a trid once. That's where I got the idea.
So she comes up to you with like a very old school, like nobody uses these anymore, but for some reason these guys are using it for their production for whatever reason. Microphone. It's got the big bulbous end. I am here with one of today's challengers, specifically the blue team. What's your name, sir? She holds out the microphone to you.
King Horatio.
Now, is Horatio your last name, first name?
No, everybody just calls me, Your Highness. You know, because I'm like the Baron's king.
And I don't want to be disruptive, so Kendall in the background is doing the hype man act. Like every time Horatio says he's King Horatio, Kendall's going to point at him. King of the Barons right here. So he's going to do full hype man acting behind him.
So how did your team so thoroughly wipe the floor with such amazing professionals as our gladiators?
Well, what just so happens we're a bunch of badasses. That's right. Yeah. You know, they breed 'em tough in the Barons. Not like wherever the Cobb salad came from.
Why does every answer you give force me to pause and try to think of what you'd say? Because I'm like, this is not exactly what I had prepared. So you're a local here from the Redmond Barons. So do you believe that you speak for all of the Redmond citizens when you say that you're part of the best district in Seattle?
That's right. We are the best. That's why they work so hard to keep us down.
Now, one of our teams is a group of amateur athletes from downtown Seattle. They've all said that you are uneducated oafs out here. What would you say to that?
What's uneducated mean? No, really, I'm not sure I understand the meaning of the word. Like we have school, we learn on the school of the street. That's why we're so tough. And if you're gonna make it in life, you gotta be tough.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll see if brains can overcome brawn, and we'll see if our gladiators can teach these upstart Baron punks a proper lesson in respect.
We're not punks.
And she immediately turns away and walks off. The camera drone that was watching over all this kind of floats around you and eventually zips off, falling behind her.
You know, if he gets a chance to look at the camera and be like, no, really, we're not punks. Punks are like anarchs, right? They don't stand for anything. But you know, but we stand for stuff.
Kendall doesn't know why, but he's going to suddenly stand up very straight and try to salute, even though he's only seen it in the trids. Because it seems like the right thing to do right then.
Okay.
You know what? We're gonna go over to him, and then we'll give him an extremely awkward salute back, and then we're gonna do the red wires handshake.
The 12-step handshake.
So what is the handshake?
I think it's a slap, and then it's a back slap, and then it's a handshake, and then it's crossed pinkies, followed by a fist bump, followed by an explosion because you crossed the wires.
Okay. Like I have no idea like how to softly transition to this area. But you guys are set back into this locker room for a small amount of time.
So, yo, I thought this stuff was going to be hard. Like the way that dude from the Brain Eaters was acting. I mean, what's the big deal, yo? I mean, like improv moved a bunch of platforms and point at Horatio, like you jumped around and they couldn't touch you. And yo, man, I was throwing spears, man. I was like one of those, uh, what were those cavemen hunting the woolly elephant thing? Yeah, I was like one of them. And Juliet, yo, I think you might have killed a dude. I'm just saying.
I was proud of myself, yes. Honestly, trolls, bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Well, yeah,
Man,
they
they
fall
they
harder
were like
'cause
an Olive Garden.
Huh?
You know, like all you can eat.
that sounds delicious, man.
If I just made Az laugh, I know I've accomplished everything in life. We got to devour them like it was a buffet. Oh man, Stuffer Shack has a buffet on Fridays before club nights. It's important to get your energy before you go out and party.
Yeah, I'll just take a pack of 6. Do they have neck sticks here? Anything besides these wispy things?
Yo, Jules, I don't mean to tell you how to live your life. I mean, I ain't your daddy, but look, this is gonna be hard to say, but yo, Horatio and I were watching the Trid the other day, and there was one of those commercials that said smoking. He's gonna hold both hands up like to calm you down. Yo, people in this commercial, they said smoking was bad for you.
Like what? They cost too much?
I don't know, man. Like I was like doing like this crazy rail in Nova Coke, and I looked up and it was like smoking kills, and I was like, well, yeah, because you're on fire. But they're like smoking a cigarette, and I was like, what? Like this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Maybe
when they held up like this piece of soy, and they were like, "This is your lungs," and then they took a blowtorch to it, and they're like, "This is your lungs on cigarettes."
I know. And Horatio and I got totally crazy hungry for some barbecue after that.
Oh, that 24-hour place is great.
Troll size portions, man. That's living right there.
You're telling me, brother. That's what we should do with our winning. Is we need to invest in a pit and like make you a pit master.
Wait, and he's actually gonna point at his
Hmm.
armpit. Like
Like when you put the whole devil rat under the coals and then you bury it and then you dig it up and it's all like scrumptious.
You can do that. I could probably make drugs that'll make it better.
Oh, I know.
that's some good thinking. What if, yo, have y'all ever heard of bliss? I mean, it's some good stuff. It'll make you go to sleep. And you know how like if you eat too much, you get real tired and you go to sleep. What if we open a restaurant and we put a little bit of bliss in everything, like as part of the secret sauce? And but what we do is we wait till it gets real popular, and then one night when we're real busy, when we got like 500 people in there that are all eating, when they all pass out from the bliss, we rob them.
I know that's what killed my mom's.
So somebody in a barbecue place robbed her.
Nah, the bliss.
Oh yeah, yeah, you could totally die if you take too much.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be too much. It depends, it depends both how pure it is and how much rat poison I put in it.
One of these
Okay,
days,
for some,
I'll learn to stop drinking when Az is talking, because wow, I gotta clean up some water now. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome, baby.
after 30 minutes or so, they come out and grab each of you. Well, they come out and grab all of you and escort you into what looks like it looks similar to a garage, but you see a set of 4 vehicles out. One's painted up in red, which was your color, and then the yellow, blue, and green. Each of these trucks, they're all very large, have a gun on the back, as well as plenty of seating room, and they tell you all to load up.
Fine, fine. And she would climb up.
So, Mr. Jim, are these
uh,
like pickup trucks? Are they like Americars? Is the gun just an exterior, like an external mounted weapon, or is it in a turret?
It is a turret.
Does
So
it have a rigger adaptation?
Yes, it does. The armor turret that is on this thing, the weapon mount is completely different from like what you guys are used to, like where like you actually have to like actually mount it up and like put bolts and stuff and straps on it to suck it down. Instead, there is a almost like a chrome plated platform over this that's just like in a U shape. Do any of you have like metal in your hands or anything?
Yes, my hands are flex hands. They're made of smart materials.
Okay. Yeah, if you get close to it, it'll actually pull your like it'll feel your hand being pulled down towards the center of the mount.
It almost makes me wish I hadn't replaced the bones and cartilage in my hand with nanobots. But then I think
Um,
nanobots.
Doesn't Juliet have metal arms?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think any of you have cyber limbs, surprisingly.
No, most of Kennel's stuff is either in his head or the little bit of Bioware he has with the muscle toner.
I think the only cyberware I have is muscle replacements and some eye/head stuff. Well, how
Okay.
many seats does this thing have?
Oh, it's easy. It'll easily fit all of you. It could probably fit 2 or 3 more. Like even with Kendall being as big as what he is, it'll easily fit all of you. Whenever you climb inside, the back into the tailgate of this truck is completely open, so you can easily just move from cab to the bed of the truck and back again to get into this turret. When you actually look at these large things, the front is very large and very heavily armored. It comes almost to a point in the back. Horatio, you might know what this car is.
Would you
You've-
like me to make a vehicle check?
Yes.
I have vehicles and I have street racing. Is one of those better than the other?
Vehicles definitely. Street racing would be at like a -2. These would be pretty uncommon. This is a pretty heavily modified Dodge Minotaur.
I don't even know what that is.
Those are so cool. Oh god.
It's a civilian version of a Stallion.
Yeah, it has
essentially what the
basically
Stallion
it's
is.
like a reinforced pickup truck, like with a big cab on the front. Except it's an easy pass through to get from the cab into the bed of the truck. It's called something like the horseshoe design, I think is what they call it in Rigger 5. But they're
Teardrop.
Teardrop. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. They're friggin' awesome.
But they each have you load up in these, and whenever you all get in, the windows will all fold down, or they could be pulled back up very easily to help provide you cover. There are no weapons inside, surprisingly enough. All the other teams load up, and they tell you this game is called Assault. Each team will have a turn to go. Your objective is to avoid being blown up, and well, in turn to disable each of the stations that the various gladiators shall be posted in and firing at you from, and potentially dealing with various gangs and other hazards throughout the area.
Oh,
You're not allowed to exit the vehicle. You'll be mag locked in and do what you can to take them out.
when you say we can't leave the vehicle, you mean like the outer part of like the actual like skin of it, right?
You can be on the vehicle however you wish, just don't get off.
Okay.
Mr. GM, as we're going through this garage, if at all possible, I would like to keep my eyes out for anything dangerous and throwable I might see as we're walking to the truck.
Are any of us good at palming? I can't remember. I don't think so.
It's never came up, so I have no idea.
That's one of those skills I keep meaning to buy, and I just keep fucking forgetting.
Okay,
I've got it, but I'm not great at it.
Okay, because I was gonna try to see if there was like engine octane booster or some shit I could jack. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Kendall, you found a couple of like wrenches that you could probably use.
Is there anybody directly watching us? Because if not, I'm gonna take them motherfuckers.
No, they're not.
Yes, automotive toolkit, please.
I'm going to take whatever tools I can possibly hide with my trollish bulk, and get those into the truck as fast as possible.
Okay, I will need a palming kit.
Oh
Or
god, I have to default.
palming check. Kendall, you are immediately spotted. You go to grab one and end up knocking most of the toolbox over.
Oh, tell
And
me it was
a
one of
guy off
those.
on the side begins shouting at you.
Tell me it was one of those cool like pegboard walls with all the tools hanging, and I picked up a wrench and the whole thing just fell down.
No, it's one of the big rolling toolboxes.
Oh god. Oh, so like all the socket heads went rolling away from their little positions that tell you the measurement, and they're just rolling away now.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
do that.
exactly what happens.
I didn't do that. I had nothing to do with that. I'm just walking. I'm walking over here.
Some small, fairly dark-skinned man is screaming at you very quickly and very loudly, being very animated. But you don't understand what he's saying.
Kendall is just going to switch into Orzette and say things like, "I don't understand you, sucker," and he will, trying not to blush furiously because he's embarrassed, will continue to walk to the truck and act like nothing happened.
Okay. So you all load up. Improv, you wanted to get an automotive toolkit?
Well, no, I was hoping we could try. I was looking for pieces for it to try to steal, but it looks like that failed. I have
Well,
my. I mean,
Kindle failed.
all right, I can give it a shot.
I was a pretty good distraction. I mean, everybody's staring at me now.
Yeah, and I have my rank of palming. All right, yeah, let's see, because these tools might help a lot. You know.
You can take the team out of the Barons, but you can never take the Barons out of the team.
Because if I can combine hardware toolkit pieces that I have in my jacket with automotive toolkit, I might have some good tools.
Well, make me the palming roll. Okay. Yeah, we're able to get quite a bit and stick it into various places and kind of pass it around to the rest of the team since Kittle has all eyes on him.
Nice.
You're able to get what should be enough for a toolkit.
Yo, I meant to do that. That was part of the plan, yo.
Yeah. Don't worry, I did it though. You need to be smaller.
Oh, like, listen, it's just a stereotype that humans are natural thieves, okay?
Yeah, stereotype. We'll call it that. Kendall will hop into the back of this big truck and trying not to have hurt feelings that he knocked over an entire tool chest and the little tiny human was able to steal everything she needed.
Kendall, you'll notice, like, as you're climbing into this thing, unlike most vehicles that actually drop as soon as, like, you even put, like, a hand on it, this thing doesn't move even after you climb inside.
Wow.
But after you guys are all suited up and ready to go, they give you a minute to figure out what you're going to be doing, and whenever you guys are ready, a door will slide open.
Am I able to open break through the bulkhead with the tools I have?
Yes.
Okay, because so basically, as this is happening, I'm going to try and war boy it as best I can. Mad Max, remember the war boys? They're like hanging on the engine and doing shit to it.
Yeah.
It's like that. I can do automotive. I have jury rigor, so I have tools. I'm not allowed to leave the vehicle, but I'm not leaving the vehicle. I'm still inside it.
Okay.
Right? Might as well. I mean,
I'm going with it. No, I'm going with it. Let's do it.
Well, I think I'm gonna just drive. Can Improv, Juliet, or Kennel shoot the gun?
I need someone to hold on to my foot because if I get sucked into the engine, the car's not going to work.
Well, I mean, y'all know I don't really like them guns not too much. I mean, I do this real troll style, and he hold up his fists. So, I'll keep Improv from dying, like in the engine. I hope. And,
What kind of turret is it?
Yeah, Jules, you good at shooting stuff, right?
Yeah. I actually just put a point into gunnery, so this is perfect. Is it an attached turret, or is it just a gun that they happen to have?
It is an attached turret.
Okay.
You have a full 360 view.
Nice.
It'll angle up very high, but there's technically no gun on this thing. It's just a mount, a magnetic mount.
Well, we're just gonna assault one of those gangers or gladiators, and we'll take their gun. Do I see any heavy rocks around that Kennel might be able to throw?
Like cinder blocks, wow, I can't talk. Loose bricks or cinder blocks, haphazardly placed toilet. I mean, anything that's heavy.
Nothing in here. You can take, if you're really desperate, you can take the panel that Improv cut out.
Yeah.
And use that to throw or whack people with.
I mean, it's metal. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, it's better than nothing.
Okay, no, works for me.
And you're even using no paint, so when the jagged edges of it cut your hands, you don't feel it. So
what jagged edges? Hey, what are you talking about? I don't feel anything right now.
Yeah.
Horatio, would you mind rolling me initiative, please?
Yes. Is Hot Sim?
If you want to use Hot Sim, you can use Hot Sim.
I think that's probably the best thing to do in this case.
Was there any success on my initial mechanic thing? Is there anything I can do to make the engine better? At least temporarily. This car is going to be absolutely fucking shreked when this race is over. This engine is going to be basically shredding itself once this is over. But in the interim,
you could take out the limiters on the fuel injector.
Okay, that sounds safe.
Yeah. Safe.
It's what a Baron's rat would do, right?
Yeah.
This is actually something that you can do in real life. And it's very dangerous. And it works. Just you don't have a way to stop your fuel pump.
Well, I mean, like, it's not like we're going to be slowing down.
I mean,
So-
the good thing is we don't care about this truck, so hey, it's good.
And bro, when you're looking at this, but like when you do it, it's like for a moment you realize, if we get shot in the engine, we're probably gonna catch on fire. But
Hey, and now Kendall has something else to throw.
Sweet.
okay.
Every piece of the engine I take off, he just throws at people.
So he's gonna be Swiss cheese and not from the bullets.
We're gonna take more damage from improv working on the engine than anything else.
Hey, man, this is going to make the car faster. Just,
Hey, they're called
Horatio,
speed
don't-
holes. All right, they're called speed holes.
yeah. Horatio, this thing stops fuel going into the engine, and I got rid of it, so we're going to have a lot more fuel. So you should be faster, but don't get shot in the engine.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Um,
like,
Just to put this down, the acceleration and the speed have both been increased by 1.
Nice.
Not bad.
But other issues can arise here.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. If this car's getting shot or it starts to lose functionality, that'll be what War Boy jury rigging is for. It's fine.
Okay, so whenever it's your turn, the other teams all go first. They all take off, and after a few minutes, out of all 3 teams, only 2 of the vehicles make it back, and both of the vehicles that come back are riddled with just damage and bullet holes. And
This
then it's
should
your
be
turn.
interesting.
The light above the door to your exit bay goes red, yellow, 2 yellow, then a bright green. As the door falls down, you peel out going almost full speed instantly that this thing is able to pull you. As you exit out this large vehicle bay, there are bright lights everywhere. There's smoke is obscuring nearly everything. Not to the point of where it's going to bother you or anything, but it's setting a nice atmosphere. And you pull out into the city streets. All the buildings around here have collapsed or fallen through. It's very much a trashy area, even for the Barrens.
Is this kind of reminiscent of when Ares was clearing out the Barrens for the Urban Brawl game?
It looks very similar to it, yes.
Right.
As you guys take off, after probably 10 or 15 seconds of going as fast as what you are, a bright red target then pops up as you then see a streak of red and orange coming in your direction.
Uh-oh.
well, we'll declare vehicle full defense. Because
I
that
thought
seems
so.
wise. That's not great.
That is a disturbingly low number of hits for you.
You did fine.
They rolled as poorly as I did.
Yeah. The rocket that they fire comes streaming past you and explodes in a shower of debris and fragmentation. The rest of you can see a few people then stand up and begin spraying at you with various weapons. But you don't really have a way to fight back except for Kennel. So what
Can
do you
I-
guys do?
Can I drive them close to anything with a machine gun?
Yeah.
Also, just in case it matters, with all this stuff, remember, Kendall, that thing I handed you, it's covered in fuel.
Oh.
So if that becomes relevant,
Okay, so we are to make sure I understand the rules, if you will, correctly. We are not allowed to leave the vehicle.
Nope.
Okay. Are we close enough for a long-armed troll such as myself to reach out and grab anyone?
With Horatio pulling you over there closer, yes, you would. You could try,
Would you like a drive check from me?
if you don't mind.
Well, this is pretty important. Let's edge that.
Well, drive tests are normally threshold-based, and remember that your
Yep.
threshold is reduced by the ranking of your control rig.
Which is a 1, I believe, right?
Although
is it a
we're in
2?
a, is this an off-road situation?
Yes. Pretty much anytime you're in the Barren, that's going to be an off-road situation. Because the roads are basically never repaired.
Okay. My limit is 6. I'm torn between post-edging it and just re-rolling.
Right now, it's only a threshold 3.
If
Just
I
so you
get over that, would that make it easier for them to like grab a guy or a
Yes.
gun? Or
Yes, it would.
okay, we'll post edge then.
Jeez,
Wow.
dude.
Gee, yeah.
5 dice exploding, and you got 5 hits. That's gross.
Nice.
And you get to keep all of those. So, so how does this work, Horatio? You go from being kind of on a road to veering off.
So since this is an impossible threshold, if we may, I'd like us to like hit a jump and then do a 360 over the guy so that Kennel can just like reach down and grab the guy or the gun or whatever and pull them up. And then we'll continue to spin as we go over them and land on the Baron's road, quote unquote, on the other side.
Okay. So, Kittle, I need you to make me a grapple check.
Well, we have a couple of options. We can either do like I'm spec'd in unarmed combat, but I don't have clinch because it doesn't come with with my martial art. So we can do like however you want to do it. Like if you want to do like a subduing check, we can do that. Or I do have disarm, the martial art. We can do that.
You could just grab his arm.
Disarm would probably be the way to go here.
Okay, so that is 52 blocks, but that's a called shot, so that brings me down to 10.
With a threshold 3 with a +6 for Horatio's help here.
Oh my god, 8 hits! Oh, that's beautiful.
This guy's not even rolling that much. So yeah, you rip the gun out of this guy's hands.
Can we say that I took the cigarettes out of his pocket too? Because Juliet, she's really like tapping her foot a lot, and it's kind of getting under my skin.
No,
Oh,
Juliet has to suffer here.
I tried, Jules. I tried. So, which weapon did I manage to snatch?
When you pull up, this gun that you have is a Marlin SS.
Oh, is this the one from Gun Heaven?
I believe so. Yes, it is.
Somebody better have long arms.
And somebody has gunnery.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you rip this thing out of this guy's hands. You're just kind of staring at the truck with it barrel rolling over top of him.
So since I pause him, something ridiculous be screamed out of the truck speakers while he's doing this.
Of course.
It's not even words. It's literally just high pitched, yelling.
Okay.
Aye!
And just because I have that free action, I have to say, "Thanks, sucker," when I snatch it out of his hands.
All right. So you take it out of the guy's hand, and what happens here?
I rapidly pass it over to Juliet because I can't get her any cigarettes, so maybe a gun will keep her quiet.
Okay. So yeah, Juliet, you're handed this this modern day hunting rifle.
Ah, my precious. Strokes for a moment, then slaps.
Yeah, as soon as you move it over to the mount, it snaps straight in. It almost feels like it was built for this thing because it pulls down perfectly, and you're able to swivel it with next to no issues.
This is the Marlin SS 13P AP -1.
Yep.
Okay. Does it have a smart link attachment?
No, nothing is smart linked.
Darn. Only accuracy of 4 then. Jeez. Oh well.
As soon as you get back on the road, several different people come jumping off the roofs of nearby buildings and try to land on top.
Would it be possible to utilize I think it's the shadow block interrupt action and try to just physically body block somebody off of there, or can I just make a melee attack as they're coming down?
What does Shadow Block do?
It's generally when somebody's trying to get past you, you effectively step in their way and stop them from moving.
No, this wouldn't be applicable in this situation.
Well, I'll throw evasive maneuvers out.
Okay.
That's 0 hits on 15 dice, sir.
How many of them were there, Mr. GM?
A lot.
How many dodge would you like?
We'll just say 1 dodge to see how many actually get on there.
Well, then we'll edge this.
That's
Okay.
the ratio we know better.
So a bunch of them jump off with the ropes tied to them. The ones that land, the ropes are then like pulled away from them. The ones that don't land on you just end up swinging back. And there are 4 who are on top of the car itself.
They made a grave mistake, and that's what they'll hear over the speakers.
And Kennel's gonna have to let out a roar when he sees that there are combatants around him. Did any of them land in a place where Juliet could possibly open fire on them?
Ooh, good point.
There are 2 who are on the hood, and there are 2 that are like hanging onto the bed of the truck. Would actually everybody please roll me initiative here?
Sure.
And with that, we bring episode 46 to a close for this week. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for listening.